Okay, we're going to review section 1.1, and so this stuff's going to be on the quiz. Well, some of this stuff's going to be on the quiz tomorrow. I'll tell you what I did. Every single problem on the quiz is an odd problem from this homework. I'm not going to tell you which ones, okay? I already did that once. I'm not going to do that again. Okay, but I will tell you that they are odd every single one. There's 10 questions. You have to solve for x on every single one. Okay, every one is an odd problem. Every one is one that I assign that you should have done, right? Look in the back, saw if it was right. If it was right, great. Go on to the next one. If it wasn't, you go back, try to fix it. And if you still couldn't get it, now you're going to ask the question today. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Let me see what time we got. 9:50. Oh, we got plenty of time. Yes? Is it the homework that we did last? It's both of them. It's 1.1. So it's 1.1 part 1, 1.1 part 2. Okay, so anything from 1.1. From, I don't know, where did it start? Number 9, I think, up to like 63, I believe. Yeah, so anything from 9 to 63 odds is fair game for the quiz. Everybody got that? All right. So you can never, because I hear kids do this all the time, especially when I'm in study hall. They blab to each other. They don't think I'm listening, but I hear everything they're saying. And they're always talking about a teacher. Well, they never talked about that. And they put it on the test or put it on the quiz, and we never went over that stuff. I could venture to say, I can almost guarantee that you can never, ever say that about this class. Would you agree so far anyway? Yeah, everything that I put on a quiz or a test, you've known about, all right? Yeah, I think every single problem I took from a homework problem, right? Some of them I put some evens on there, but they were kind of like the ones that you had to do. All right, enough talking. Let's do some. Let's rip off some numbers here. What do you got? 51. Okay. 61. What did I give you for part B? Where did that start? 43. Okay. Yeah, so let's try to stay above the 43s. And we are, but I'm just saying because we went over those other stuff before. So anything else? Yeah, Matt? 57. Okay, a couple more. Go ahead. 63, the last one. Okay. All right, let's start with these. Somebody write those down so I remember which ones we're doing. We'll go in chronological order. How's that sound? So we'll start with 51. I like a little color, so let's put some color in here. 51. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. You start off with a bang on this one, huh? 2x over x squared minus 4. Yeah. Yeah, remind me to give you part 1 back to you. Sorry, I forgot to grade it. I'll give it back to you, and then I'll collect them Monday before the quiz. Is that all right with you? All right. Sorry about that. What's that? I'm sorry. I was thinking this was Friday for some reason. I'm a day ahead this week. Is anybody else like that? Just seems like this week is dragging. No, we're not. It's Friday. It's Friday. Forget what I said. It's Friday. 4 over. Look, I push stuff back so much for you guys. One time I got to stick to my guns, right? Yeah, I don't want to be a pushover. All right, here we go. Oh, we got an equals in here. Which one's the equals? This one's the equals. All right. Did I write it down right? Make sure I did. 4 over x squared minus 4 minus 3 over x plus 2. All right, I wrote it down right. So let's figure out what we're going to do here. Well, first of all, we don't like this as a fraction, do we? We're trying to solve, by the way. So it says, and on the quiz, it'll say solve each equation. All right, so you just solve for everything. And I kind of when I went through and I did the quiz, I put like one of each kind of style on there. So there's not like 3 of the same exact type. Okay, so I put 1 from each kind of problem that we've been doing here. All right, so what in the world are we going to do here? Well, I need to get rid of these denominators, don't I? So I need to multiply it by least common multiple. Before I do that, though, I want to rewrite x squared minus 4. What am I going to do with that x squared minus 4?
I'm sorry to be fair.
Go ahead.
You have to do 135 to 225.
For what? What do we mean have to do?
Larson's class. Could you sorry?
I have an appointment. at 1:30 today that I had to leave for.
You don't send Sam in there.
Sorry, I haven't. Okay. All right. Sorry, I would otherwise. Okay, gotcha. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rewrite this denominator. Instead of x squared minus 4, that's something that we've talked about already, isn't it? What do we call that kind of? It's factoring. What kind of factoring is this? Difference, what? Of two squares, right? Okay. So we should be able to factor this pretty easy, shouldn't we? What's that? Good. And then this is the exact same thing, right? Did that occur to you to factor this? Okay, as soon as you see something like this, that's the first thing that pops in my head, okay, is to factor that thing. And then this is over x plus 2. All right. So we talked about this yesterday. We had a problem similar to this yesterday, I believe. I don't think we had the where you had to factor it, okay, but we had something kind of like this. So we got to find a common denominator. And what I would like to do, I would like to multiply each term in here by that common denominator so that these denominators cancel each other out. Okay? So I got x plus 2, x minus 2, x plus 2, x minus 2, and I got an x plus 2. Do you remember that thing we did when you had, I don't know, when you had like 18? Remember you did this, you went 9 times 2. I don't know, let's do this. 18 and 3, okay? Remember this if you had a denominator with 18 and 3. So what do? This is 3 times 3 times 2. Remember that? And then you drop that all the way down, and there's a 3. That's supposed to be a 3. All right, and then what do? You look at both of them, and you say, well, there's what numbers show up? Well, a 2 shows up, right? And then what else shows up? I got 2 3s here and 1 3 here. So which one do I pick? The one that shows up the most number of times. I'm multiplying together. That's my common denominator. It's the same kind of thing here. So think of it split up into 3 parts. I got an x plus 2, x minus 2, x plus 2, x minus 2, and an x plus 2. Well, let's see what shows up, an x plus 2. It shows up once here, once here, once here. So how many of those do I use? No, I don't use 3 of them. If it only shows up one time, even though it shows up in all 3 places, I only use the one time it shows up, okay? So x plus 2 is one of my things for my common denominator. What else shows up? An x minus 2 here, an x minus 2 here. I don't have one here. Does it have to be in all 3 places? No. Okay, so I just pick an x minus 2. So what's my common denominator then? X plus 2, x minus 2. That's right. So that's my least common multiple, or my common denominator, if you want to think of it like that. Okay? Again, we've talked about this ad nauseum in the past, so you're going to have to go look that up. So we're going to multiply everything by x plus 2, x minus 2. That way, and remember, if I do something to one thing, as long as I do it to everything else, I'm good, right? So what can I do here now? Why did I do that? What's the whole purpose in multiplying all this together? So that I can cancel out the denominators. That's the whole reason. So watch, this x plus 2, x minus 2 cancels with this x plus 2, x minus 2 right there, right? That way I got rid of my denominator. So now I don't have a denominator. So that's cool. What about this? Same exact thing, right? This x plus 2 minus 2 and this x plus 2, x minus 2. They cancel out. Let's come over here. Not everything cancels out here, but one thing does, right? What cancels out here? The x plus 2 and this x plus 2. Looks like a little bit of a mess right here, but we can make it look nice and clean it up a little bit. Well, this works out nice. This and this completely cancel it out. What am I left with? Just the 2x equals everything canceled out here except for that 4. And the denominator canceled out, but we still have a little bit left. We got a minus, we got a 3, and then we have a what? X minus 2 on the top. Now, we took that thing which looked really complicated. It had squares, it had x in the denominator, it had all kinds of mess there. We got it into this. And now it should be pretty easy. So let's go through this kind of quick. So 2x equals 4. This negative 3 is being distributed. Don't forget that. So it's negative 3x, what? Not minus 2, or not minus 6, what? It's plus 6, because it's negative 3 times negative 2. It's plus 6. All right, let's add some like terms. 4 plus 6 is 10. minus 3x. Subtract a 2x from both sides. I'm sorry, let's not do that. We could do that if we wanted to, but I'm going to keep it positive. So I'm going to get rid of the negative, right? So I'm going to add a 3x. Wouldn't that be a little bit nicer? Yeah. Let's pull that up a little bit. All right, so that canceled out. This is a 5x equals 10. Somebody fact check me on this. Is that what it? Okay. Okay. And that's what I was going to look, because I was looking at it earlier. But that's the math, though. You do get x minus 2. But before you circle it and say, that's my answer, I'm confident that's my answer, okay, what do you have to realize? You got to put it back into the first thing and see if it works, okay? So what did we say it was? X equals 2, right? So what if we put a 2 in for x right here? 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 4 is what? 0. Can I have something over, I don't even care what the top is, all right? I mean, it's going to be 4, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. So this will be 4 over 0. Am I allowed to have a 0 in the denominator? No, I'm not, okay? So that by itself indicates that there's no solution here. So do not circle the x equals 2. What are we going to write? No solution. How did we know it's no solution? Because we looked at the original problem, we plugged in 2, right, for the x. We found out that 2 is going to give us a 0 in the denominator. We can't have that, so there is no possible answer for this equation, or this equation. See this equation right here? There's no number. There's no number that exists that makes this side equal to this side. You with me? That's what no solution means. So I would write no solution and then circle it, and that's your answer right there. We good? All right. Now, I don't know. I haven't even done the answer key yet for the quiz. I just made it up this morning, okay? So I don't know if there's one with no solution on there or not, honest, okay? But there could be, all right? So it's very possible. What's the next one? 57. Okay. All right. 57. All right. They put T's. Do you mind if I put an X in there instead of a T? I just don't like writing a T. I don't know. Isn't that weird? Sorry if your name starts with a T, but the X just seems easier to write. Tanyos, right? 3x plus 8 over 2x minus 4. All right, here we go. So what in the world, how can we solve for x here? Well, you got a couple things you could do, but here's probably what I would do. I'm thinking they're probably going to have you multiply everything by the least common multiple. So I would multiply this by 4x minus 1 times 2x minus 4. Multiply this by 4x minus 1 times 2x minus 4, right? Because you just multiply those together to get a common denominator. Here's another way. We haven't really talked about this, but you could, like, what if you had something like this? I don't know if this number comes out nice or not, but 2/5 probably won't. What if I asked you to solve for x right here? What would you do? Cross multiply. Very good. Okay. Couldn't you do the same thing here? Yeah, you could. You want to do it that way? Yeah, let's do it that way. All right, so you could multiply those together, put an equals in between them. All right, so let's see what we can do. So what would that be? It'd be 6x plus 7. Now I'm multiplying them together, so what's important to do here? Put it in parentheses, okay? Is this the best way to do it? Yeah, I think it is. And then what do we got? 2x minus 4, right? Equals, multiply those together. And again, it doesn't matter which one's first. We'll make that first, and then we'll do that. And you're like, well, that doesn't look any better than this. Well, yeah, it does. It looks a little bit better, right? Because we don't have any fractions now. So what in the world? I heard somebody say it. So what do we do? What's the method? Foil, right. Okay, so let's FOIL this. Let's see if we can do a little bit of this in our head. So what's this going to be? 12x squared, I heard somebody say. Outside, inside. Can we do that in our head? Negative 24 plus 14. What's negative 24 plus 14? Positive or negative? Negative, because it's negative 24x plus, what do we say? 14x, right? So that's what? Negative 10x, right? If you need to write the step down, by all means, write the step down, okay? So that was the outside and inside, and what's the last? Negative 28, okay? Let's do this. Let's FOIL this one. What do we get? 12x squared again. Outside is negative 3. Inside is what? 32, positive 32. So what's that? 29, positive 29, right? If you need to write it down, by all means, write it down. So it's negative 3x plus 32x, which is positive 29x, right? All right, then the last is negative 8. Now it's starting to look a little bit better. Now the squared, it doesn't scare me too much. In the next section, when we do quadratics, okay, we're going to have to deal with squareds, x squareds. Right now, we're not going to really have to deal with it. Why not? Because they cancel out, okay? Or they add up to 0, right? Minus 12x squared, minus 12x squared. You could just cancel them out if you realize that. It's perfectly fine. Let's get the x's on the same side. Yes, sir. Shouldn't that be 25x? What's that? This? Right here? Well, how'd you get that? Because it's negative 3. It's outside, inside. So it's negative 3x plus 8 times 4 is 32, right? Is that right? Okay. Yeah. And then that's 29. Okay. So what did I do now? I added a 10x, and I added a 10x right there. So where are we putting our x's? We're putting x's on the right. So let's take this number and put it on the left. Is everybody okay with doing all this in one step? Yeah, I think by now, I think we should be able to do that. So that canceled, that canceled, that canceled, that canceled. I'm not going to say what they do. We'll say bang, bang instead of, am I allowed to say that? Is that a dirty song too? No, probably sounds like it could be. All right, so I'll just say they cancel out. Okay. Actually, there's a movie. You should watch it sometime. It's called The Bang Bang Club, and it's got a. I don't think I told you this before, but the person, one of the stars of the movie, is a kid that I taught when he was in high school. Ryan Phillippe. You ever hear Ryan Phillippe? Yeah, any Newcastle people, so know Ryan Phillippe. But anyway, he married Reese Witherspoon. Everybody knows Reese Witherspoon. He was the first husband. Yeah. Anyway, he was my student. I taught him. I actually taught him Algebra 2. He did so well that he failed. I shouldn't say this, but he failed, and I had to tutor him during the summer for summer school. So, and he was actually one of my photographer video guys. It's really cool. It's about South Africa and the apartheid, when they were fighting racial conflicts and stuff. But he was a reporter. This was back like in the 70s, I think. And he had a film camera, and I actually taught him black and white photography. So he was using a camera very similar to the one that I taught him to use when he was in high school. I thought it was cool. But he never did respond to me and say anything. He should have. I watched a couple interviews, and he should have said, thanks to Mr. Hamrick, I know all about black and white photography, but he didn't. Okay, am I doing this right? This is negative 20, right? And what's that? 39x. Divide by 39. So it's a little ugly. Is that the answer? Yes. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so 20 over. Don't you get a little nervous when the answers look real bad like this? Yeah. But in real life, answers rarely come out to like a nice whole number. All right, so there we go. We good with that? So what was the hard part about that? Is just that first step? Yeah. If you wanted to, you could have done what we did before. Let me just do that just to show you. We got a little bit of time. So you could have multiplied everything by 4x minus 1 times 2x minus 4. Would you agree? Then what would happen? This and this would have canceled. What would you have been left with? 2x minus 4 times 6x plus 7. Isn't that what we had already? You see that? So it would still get us to the same point, just in a little bit of a different way. All right. What was the next one after 57? 61. Okay. We haven't done green yet. Let's do this green. 61. Let's see. More fractions. 2 over. I'm okay with writing y's, so we'll write it. I don't know. I don't like writing t's. Over y minus 4. Minus. Oh, that's an equals. I got to get new glasses. I can barely see anymore. I actually have an eye doctor appointment during Thanksgiving break, so I'll have some new glasses. What kind of glasses should I get? I was thinking of getting like a dark frame, like a thin dark frame. What do you think that would look like? You think that'd be all right? Is that kind of cool? Let me see what yours look like. Oh, I do like those. I was thinking of getting like the plastic frames because they're kind of popular now, where they're black. Yeah, I don't think I can pull that off. All right, so what are we going to do here? Well, I kind of think we're going to do what we did. This looks very similar to what we did before, doesn't it? So what would be our common denominator here? Tell you what. Let's move this down here so I get some room. Anybody paying attention? Okay, just because I start talking about something else doesn't mean we have to go crazy here. I'm just spreading this out because I'm going to need a little bit of room. Right there. Okay, so what am I going to do? How am I going to get rid of these denominators right here? Well, multiply by the least common multiple. Okay, so how can I multiply? Look, they're all different, right? So basically, what am I going to do with all those? Just multiply them all together, right? I think some of you guys need to review least common multiple. Y plus 6. And then we're going to multiply this. Oh, I should have given myself some more room. That's all right. Multiply this by y plus 3, y minus 4, and y plus 6. And then what are we going to do to this one? Same exact thing, right? Y plus 3, y minus 4, and y plus 6. Okay? Why did we do that? We did this so our denominators will all cancel out. That's why I used a least common multiple. Common multiple, because it's in common with all three of these. There's something in common with all three. So that means my denominators will cancel out. So watch what happens. That'll cancel. That'll cancel. Bang, bang. I'll say that. Bang, bang. There they go. So that all cancels out. So let's write what's left over. So originally we had a 2. What do we have multiplied by that? We got a y minus 4 and a y plus 6. Plus, what do we have here? That y minus 4 cancels, so I have a 3. What's left over here? A y plus 3, and what else? A y plus 6. Good. Equals, the y plus 6 canceled, so I have a 5, and I got all this stuff right here. What do I got? Y plus 3 and y minus 4. Well, it looks crazy now, doesn't it? Well, let's do this. Let's keep that 2 there, and let's FOIL this. We should be able to FOIL this in our head, right? Y squared. And then what? Plus 6 minus 4 is plus 2y minus 24. Yeah? Plus 3. FOIL it. Y squared plus 6y plus 3y is plus 9y plus 18. Hopefully you're able to do this stuff in your head, can you? Y squared. Outside, inside, negative 4 plus 3. What's negative 4 plus 3? Negative 1y, and then minus 12. You with me so far? All right, now what do we got to do? Yeah, distribute the numbers that are out in front of the parentheses. So we got a 2y squared plus a 4y. It's a lot of work, but it's not hard work, is it? Minus 48 plus 3y squared. How much time do I got? 7 minutes. Okay. plus, what's that? 27y. What's 18 times 3? I should know that. 54, is that right? Somebody do that. Make sure I got that right. 18 times 3. Somebody tell me if I'm right or not. Okay, thank you. Sometimes can't do stuff in my head so great. All right. Like, yeah, it's a lot of numbers, but come on. It's not that bad though, right? So watch. Let's add some like terms over here. Do we have any like terms on this left side of the equal sign? Sure we do. We've got a couple y squareds here. We've got 2y squared plus 3y squared. I see what they're going to do here, don't you? That's going to give me a what? A 5y squared. And look, I got a 5y squared over here, so guess what they're going to do? We'll cancel each other out. So the y squareds really aren't bothering us on this problem, are they? Next section, they're going to bother you, okay, but not right now. All right, so I took care of that. What about the y's? Plus 4y plus 27y. What's that? 31? Y? Yeah? What's this? Negative 48 plus 54. What's that? 6? Is that right? Okay. And then over here, any like terms I can add over here on the right? No. So I just write it like this. Look what happens. I'm not even going to write minus. I'm just going to cancel it out. I know that's going to cancel, don't I? Let's get the y's on the same side. So I'm going to add a 5y. I'm going to add a 5y. Let's move the 6 over. Subtract a 6. Let's see what we get. That canceled. That canceled. What's this? 36y equals negative what? 66? Did I do all my steps right? We've got to simplify, though, don't we? 6 goes into both of those, don't they? So 6 goes into 66, what? 11 times, or negative 11, and 6 goes into this, 6. Is that the answer? Good. Thank goodness. Did 2 problems right in a row. So really, it was just on autopilot after you got to that part right here, wasn't it? Yeah. That wasn't the hard part. The hard part was what we did at the beginning, okay? Or the new part. I don't even know if I'll say it's the hard part. It's just the new part. I think we have one more to do, don't we? Yes. Let's try to that one. 63. I guess this wouldn't be any shorter, would it?
Not even shorter than my brain.
That's pretty short, I guess, huh? I may not be able to finish this, but at least we'll get it started. That'd be good enough, right? All right. We've already talked about this before. So what do you think the first thing we're going to do is? Nah, not yet. Not yet. Look at the bottom. Give me a word. Give me a word. One word.
Chicken.
Chicken's not the word. Factor is the word, okay? Factor is the word. So we're going to factor the bottom. It's a difference of 2 squares again. Aren't you glad we did factoring on the review? Because if we didn't do the review, you would have had to do this factoring, and I would have had to teach factoring all from scratch again, wouldn't I? Yeah, by the sounds of it, I probably would. All right. Oh, how do we factor this? Well, there's an x in common, right? So what's that going to be? X minus 1 equals, and put a minus 3 right here. Same thing with this, right? There's an x in common with that, so that's an x plus 1. All right, so I'll just do the next step and we'll be done. I'll let you do the rest of it. Just like we did on that last problem, look at your denominators. Oops. Oh, yeah. I don't want to. Look at our denominators. I got x plus 1, x minus 1. I got x, I got all that stuff. Okay, remember if I break it into this right here, we need to find out what factors show up. What factors show up? Well, I got an x. Even though I got it in 2 places, it only shows up once in either place, right? So I only pick out one of the x's. All right, what else shows up? An x plus 1. And it's once here, so I just pick one of them. What else shows up? An x minus 1. It only shows up once here and once here. So what I'm going to do is take this thing right here and multiply. See, with my fancy, it's probably off the screen. That's okay. And then I'm going to multiply that. I'm going to multiply that. And I'm going to multiply this. That saves me a little bit of writing. Okay. And what happens here? Actually, I probably should have done it down here, shouldn't I? Oh, my bad. Should have done it here so you could see stuff cancel out, but you get the idea. Can I do that? Uh-oh. Oh, why did it do that? Why isn't it canceled? Why isn't it? Anyway, you get the idea. Take this, multiply it by here, cancel some stuff out, multiply it by here, cancel a couple things out, multiply it by here. Now you got to be careful with those negatives though, all right? That's where it's going to be a little tricky with this negative right here and this negative right here. But give it a shot, all right? Tell you what I'll do. Do I have time today? Ugh. I may not have time today. Well, yeah, I don't know. Because I already had my free period. So I don't have any time where I could be by myself and teach this. You can figure it out. You know what the answer is. It's in the back, right? Work it out. I mean, I gave you the hard part, right? I showed you how to do the hardest part of it. So there you go. I really doubt that's on the quiz anyway. But it'll be fun to try to get it right. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to put the homeworks out here. I apologize for not grading the homeworks last night. I usually grade it that very night. To tell you the truth, I just completely forgot about it. So here's all your homeworks right here. Okay, you have less than a minute. So I don't know. Do you want to start? Matt, why don't you start trying to pass these out? And then, so get it from Matt before you leave. Then I'm going to collect them tomorrow, both of them. Okay, I'm going to collect in part 1 and part 2 tomorrow. So have that ready for tomorrow. Be ready for the quiz. And that's it.